Hello and welcome. We are so excited to be here tonight to talk with Manhattan School of Music. Manhattan School of Music is one of the world's premier music conservatories for classical music, jazz, and musical theater. Located on the Upper West Side in the heart of New York City. Tonight, I am honored to have Kaitlyn Frank, a member of the musical theater dance faculty. She has brought 4 students from the program to speak with us tonight. Please welcome Bella Johnson, David Bautista, Kate Murray, and Meredith Layne Hugerford. So thank you guys so much for this. I have a lot of questions for you, and I'm very excited to learn more about this program, as I'm sure my students will be. I think we were talking before, and I was saying that this is a fairly new program. Manhattan School of Music, for me, was always a classical conservatory. That's how I saw it back in the day. Had many friends that went there. But the MT program has started about maybe 8 years ago, something like that. It's
hmm
fairly new. And it's been getting rave reviews, and there's a lot of buzz about it. Um, so I thought we would begin with each of you guys introducing yourselves, and maybe Kaitlyn, you could start it off and just tell us a little bit about yourself, your position on the faculty, and then we can go through each of you guys.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kaitlyn Frank. I am teaching musical theater dance styles to juniors and seniors. Within the BFA musical theater program, I am teaching dance. Bella.
Hi, I'm Bella. I'm a junior at MSM. Um, yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, so why don't you tell us where are you from originally?
Oregon. I'm from Oregon, Lake Oswego.
Okay.
Um, should I say anything about my auditions, or are we not there yet?
Yeah, no. So what year are you in? You're
Junior, third year.
okay. And yeah, why don't you tell us a little brief overview of your audition process and how you landed at Manhattan School of Music?
Yes. Brief overview. So I grew up doing a musical theater program here in Oregon, and the director's daughter was in the first graduating class of Manhattan School of Music's MT program. So that's where I heard of it, just through a friend. And then I added it to my list of 20 colleges when I did my whole application audition process. I had to do my audition completely online because Oregon, it was too far to travel to New York. Um, and then I think it was my first accepted school that I got into out of my
Okay.
20. And then it ended up just being the right fit. And we'll talk more why later. But yeah.
Great. How about Meredith?
Hi, my name is Meredith Layne. I'm also a junior, and I'm from Somerville, South Carolina, so the other side of the country. Um, for me, I only applied to 6 colleges, I'm pretty sure, and only 3 of them were for musical theater. Um, so I did
Yeah.
my this University of South Carolina's musical theater program, and then Michigan. I got past everything. I got into um, USC, and then with Manhattan, I found out about that school because I was in the vocal program of my high school, which was a performing arts school, and my teacher was a really good friends with one of the classical department's heads. So he recommended that I audition there. I initially was going to go for classical voice, but I actually ended up going for musical theater instead. And it was just perfect. I mean, it really was just the perfect fit, but we'll get into that.
Okay. Great. How about Kate?
Hi. I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm like 3 hours out of the city. And I discovered Manhattan School of Music because I went to go see the 2022 Into the Woods revival, and Alessia Velez, who played Rapunzel, had gone to Manhattan School of Music, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And then I just sort of added it to my list, like a whatever school. But then when it got down to it and I saw what schools I had gotten into, it did become a top contender for me. And eventually I decided on it being the right fit. And I'm glad I did because well, my other top contender was University of the Arts, which has since shut down.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you
it
made the
worked
right
out.
choice. Great. David?
Hi, I'm the fourth and final junior. Um, I found MSM because, oh, I grew up doing theater like since I was like literally like 2 years old. And so I was doing theater in West Hollywood and I made two friends there. One of them was at my performing arts high school, one of them was somewhere else. I don't remember. But the Lily Doherty and Maddie Kimmel, and they both went to MSM. They were a year above me, and that's how I found out. And yeah, then I applied, did my audition in my room over there, and yeah.
When you all auditioned, how many actually went in person and how many were virtual?
I went in person. I was there. It was the weekend of New York City Unifieds, but I don't think, at least when I did it, they weren't participating in Unifieds, but they held in-person auditions that same weekend. So I did them in person, but at the school.
Okay. And then were the rest of you virtual?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was also in person the same weekends as Unifieds. I don't think we were at the same audition date though.
Yeah, that was a question I actually had for your head. She hasn't gotten back to me, but I was curious if are they participating in unifieds? But I know some colleges, like there's the unified list, and then other colleges sort of piggyback on that. And so they'll hold them as well. Yeah, so we're waiting to hear back because she said that they are, but I was looking for walk-ins for students who now see this and say, "Oh, I didn't apply here, but maybe I'll do a walk-in at Unifieds now that I know a little bit more about it." So anyway, she said she would get back to me so I can let you all know about that. I don't think I have any current seniors online right now, but great. Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you guys to get a little bit more in detail. So you all said that you ended up at Manhattan School of Music. Like, what for you was one of the deciding factors that was like, okay, here are my schools that I've gotten into. What were some of the reasons that you chose this school over some other ones?
My main thing was just the fact that it was in New York City. I feel like that puts us at such a head start over everyone else because we already know, like, the best places to live and we get apartments. You can live off campus junior and senior year. So you're kind of already set in that aspect. And you go to Pearl Studios and you see where the auditions are being held. So just being in New York was like one of my top factors.
Yes. What of
Um,
them?
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I saw that, David. I'll be quick. For me, it was that it was in New York, but I also loved the size. Our classes are very small. Our class does happen to be the biggest one so far, but it's kind of going down in numbers. People tend to leave sophomore, junior year, depending. Um, um, so I like the smaller class size. I feel like everyone really gets the attention that they are required to get better. And I also really like that all of our faculty, pretty much all of our faculty is on Broadway, actively working or was on Broadway. I mean, we have like some really big, important names, people who just have the experience that we all strive for. So I enjoyed that aspect of it.
What is the current class size?
Our class, I believe, is now down to 33.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The freshmen are about 26, I believe.
Okay.
So they've been going down in numbers a little bit, but I think the incoming class will be around the same as
You
26.
think 26? Yeah.
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 but one of the reasons why I chose, since I'm already talking, um, I was already hearing a lot from Maddie and Lily, the two other people that I knew that were already there, that about how much they were loving it. And I'm a dancer, and Lily is also a dancer, and she was like having the time of her life, just posting all the crazy things that she was doing. And also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, going off of what Meredith said, the class size thing, like even though we are the largest class, they did a good job of making sure that we did only have like 11 or 12 students per faculty member for our like whole classes. So it like there was a lot of us, but we were still getting smaller groups.
So they divide, for those of you who don't know, cohorts, I think they call them. Is that what the idea is? And then like, do you like track with those students in your cohort for the year or?
It really depends per class. Our
Yeah,
freshman year was kind of off of dance level, but not really, because then sometimes you got switched on your final. So it's like you're mixing up every day. It's not like a set cohort, but yeah,
yeah,
classes are only 11 to 12 people, which is awesome.
yeah, that is great. Absolutely. Um, did we get Kate? Did we talk to you?
No. Um, I agree with everything that my classmates said. A big deal was that it was in New York City, that we had small class sizes. The faculty members that we have are really amazing. Another thing that really excited me about the program was that it was new. Because something that you will see a lot, even students that come to MSM but don't end up getting their degree from MSM, have been really like making names for themselves in New York City in the theater scene. And so I felt like there was something to it being such a new program, that the faculty members were going to be very involved in our careers and wanting to put us in rooms to make a name for the school, because it benefits them as much as it benefits us. And I've seen that too. I've seen my teachers advocate for me outside of school and other people and get opportunities for us students. It's very important to them that we're successful outside of school. So that's a great benefit of a new program.
So would you say that, because I know with different colleges and programs that I've talked to, like, certain ones like Carnegie and Penn State, for example, they don't want you auditioning. Like they want you there the full year, a full 4 years, and some of them frown upon it. They really, you're here, you're going to get your full education from us, and then we're going to set you up and put you out there. So your school is a little bit different. I'm getting that they're okay with you going out if they feel that you're ready or.
There's sort of a mixed message. I remember when I was first in the meeting for accepted students at MSM, our dean was saying that she wanted us to be in auditions and to get in rooms if we could, but only if we were serious about taking the job, because she didn't want us to get the job and then not take it and, make ourselves look bad or make the school look bad. And I have had a lot of friends that are able to get in professional auditions, and a lot of them have gotten it through faculty members that they've made connections with. But sometimes our dean has been interesting. We're not allowed to miss classes for auditions. So that's
Hmm.
kind of the catch 22, because auditions are always early on weekdays, and that's when we also have classes. But people have left for professional opportunities. So I feel like if it's something that you're very passionate about, especially because we have a new dean coming in next year, so I'm not sure what the rules are going to be. I don't think it's impossible. I have seen people do it.
Yeah. So it's probably just a matter of them like talking you through and saying like, is this like a job that you're going to take and worth
Yeah.
interrupting your college
Yeah.
career versus like a
Definitely a discussion.
small gig?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I will say they are pretty. Liza's pretty good about letting students do like some more short term gigs. Like me and Bella, like this past semester, did something that only like had us leaving class for like 2 days, and she was like totally okay with that. So these like shorter term kind of gigs and stuff that you that are still professional opportunities. will be allowed. Like they're not going to be like, you can't do anything, you can't do that cabaret, you can't do that whatever thing. Like if it's like some of these smaller things, it'll be fine.
And our dean will send them out too. Like she'll send the names of casting directors or projects that are going on because she does want us to be, getting our names out there. And like I said, like small program, make a name for yourself, that sort of thing. Get yourself into doors.
Sure. Yeah. Do you, Kaitlyn, as a teacher, do you find that like it's a little more like there's a little more leeway with that with the seniors? Because like some of them will be doing regional summer stock audition, like it's going to pull them out a little bit.
Yeah, I had a conversation with I would say probably maybe five seniors took me up on, reached out and said like, I have this audition. I'd like to use it as one of my excused absences. So then I was like, yeah, that's fine. So we had like two excused absences that were not going to impact your grade at all. And then past that, then it'd be like a bigger conversation with going to the dean and then paperwork, you sign off on it. So it's very systematic, but I thought that people were doing a good job at using it sparingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Great. So, can you guys like tell us what, a typical week looks like for you guys? How your time is divided between acting and singing and dance rehearsal. How is that? Now you're juniors, so it's probably a heavier, schedule than perhaps when you were freshmen, maybe, but
Actually, something interesting I think about our program is that it's kind of the opposite. You're really on loaded with everything in your freshman and sophomore year, and then when it comes to junior, senior year, you do have a little bit more time to do those auditions, to do those outside performances, to do other things. Freshman year is um, a lot of classes Mondays and Wednesdays. Like you have a full day, like 10:30 to 6 p.m. With, a lunch break in between. And then Tuesdays are a little lighter, Thursdays are a little lighter, and then Fridays are like, I think like two or three classes or something. Um, Most classes are only two times a week. Every class is an hour and 20 minutes unless otherwise noted, which an example of that would be in your sophomore year, you take a class with David Loud, which is like the history of musical theater, um, which is, I want to say almost 2 hours long. Yeah, I think it's 2 hours long. So a little bit longer, but yeah, it's pretty evenly spaced. There's a lot of interesting classes. Freshman year is pretty cut and dry. It's acting, it's learning how to act while you sing, learning basic dance styles. So yeah, and then sophomore year gets a little bit more advanced. You go into acting the song, which is sounds like freshman year, but it's a little bit more in depth. Um, and then it also just depends on the semester. Acting classes are different, but I'll let someone else talk now.
Yeah, that's everything. Dance every single semester is three days a week. First semester, it changes per semester though what the style is that you're doing mainly three times a week. So freshman and sophomore year it's jazz and then ballet, and then junior and senior year it's tap and then jazz. So you don't get ballet your junior and senior year, and you don't get tap your freshman and sophomore year, but you can like audit. Like our program is really good about auditing classes, which means you can basically just take them as well. So you can really squeeze in as many dance credits as you want, which is nice.
okay. They're leveled, I assume, the dance.
Yeah. Yes. They're leveled they're leveled freshman and sophomore year, like ish. I'm pretty sure just two levels now. And then junior and senior year, they say that we're all to a level that we can be in any level. It's us. Yeah.
Kaitlyn, you're smiling.
Yes, do you know what? Dance Styles was just advanced. So that's what we were doing. And if you didn't want to do that, then you could leave the class. But everyone did great here. And in general, everyone did great.
Can I ask? I want to get back to the some daily like class stuff too, but what was most of your dance levels going in? Because this is always, I think, a topic that scares a lot of kids because like in my own students, I have my dancers, my competitive dancers, and for them, like that's their strong point. And they're a little maybe scared of the singing component. But then I have, amazing singers and actors who the dance is just like you know, fear. And they're afraid they won't get in programs because of that. So how do you feel about that? And
I
even
was
yourself.
mainly a dancer coming into it.
Okay.
I would say that that's my top three, or one of my, yeah, it's my top of my three. But MSM I think is really good with, I mean, I'll let everyone else speak too, but like they don't want people to be alike coming in. So like we have people that came in that it came straight from dance programs, or we had people that came in that were, very great singers, but they're training us to be, a little bit of everything. It does not matter if you're not the best at dancing or singing or acting. Like they want people that they can work with, not people that are perfect. Perfect.
Good to know.
My training was like, sorry, David.
No.
I took dance classes my entire life, so I knew the vocabulary and the basic technique, but I do not consider myself a dancer at all. In fact, I can't remember a single college audition where I didn't walk out of a dance call and go, "Oh, I completely bombed that." And mm, not only do I feel like my dancing and my confidence in dancing has improved at MSM, but I think I kind of expected teachers here to kind of look at me and go like, "Oh, she's not a dancer," and sort of just push me off to the side. But they really, all the teachers, especially Kaitlyn, are very good about just taking you where you are and just making you your best. And do not worry about dance not getting you into a program. I mean, maybe there's a certain program out there that's looking for a dance, but really they're just looking for you as a full package. So just show up and do what you do the best, and they're looking for you.
Yeah, well, first of all, Kate did an amazing job in class and grew so much in one semester. It was amazing. But secondly, like I can say just by seeing the dance styles class that like there are people that clearly have every, like the dancer first, the singer first, and the actor first. Like I can see it all. Um, and that's great because there's so much variety. And then you're going to have those people that push you. Different students will push each other in different classes, I think. Would you say so? Yeah, good.
Great. And also, real quick, if anyone watching has a question, by all means, like put your hand up, or you could actually throw it in the chat, and I can circle back if there's something like you're like, oh, I want to, ask a little bit more about this. By all means, you can do that. We'll also have a little time at the end where you guys can ask questions for yourselves. But okay, so let me ask you guys, do you have voice lessons all 4 semesters or 8 semesters?
Yeah, you get paired up with the voice teacher as soon as you get there, and you have voice lessons once a week forever and ever until you graduate. And it's between you like schedule those with your voice teacher. And we have like we have a lot. We have a lot of voice teachers. I was just gonna try and count, but I was like, wait, I don't know. There are
A lot.
we have a bunch of voice teachers. They're all great. They're all great in their many different ways as well. Like they definitely do a good job of matching the artist to the teacher. I feel like each studio has their own unique like vibe. Um, so yeah, voice lessons all day, every day. Not actually once a week.
And so this is a conservatory program in the sense that it's a bachelor's of music, which is essentially in this case, like for everyone listening, everyone's always like BFA, BFA, but BMs are very, very similar, to be honest. is it the idea that there's just maybe a little more music in the program that they don't, do they call it a BM? Like
Our
what would
freshman
be?
our freshman year, we also take a music theory class.
Mm-hmm.
I that's our like more extent on our music training side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
It's
like
only
the
one
only thing.
semester?
Don't
Or
forget, don't
Two
forget about
semesters.
piano sophomore year. Don't forget about piano.
Piano 1 semester sophomore year and music theory 2 semesters freshman year. And then
okay,
also we're taking humanities classes every year. And I think that also plays into our BM.
right.
So freshman and sophomore year, it's like an English class where you read and then you discuss. Freshman and sophomore year, they're pretty set, and then junior and senior year, you have the opportunity to decide what you want, and it's fun because there's like New York history, art history, Shakespeare, so you have a little bit more free will in choosing what humanities credits you want.
Gotcha.
That's the only difference, I would say.
Yeah. Yes. And for those of you listening as well, so conservatory-based program, which Manhattan School of Music is a little different from the liberal arts. The BFAs housed in the liberal arts, those they require more, I think, gen ed, more variety and a little bit more of that. I'm not sure of the exact ratio, but maybe 30%. I'm not sure if you guys are somewhere around 20%, or it's humanities versus, yeah. So a little more academia in the other ones, maybe. And that's
Yeah.
important because some people, when you get out of high school and you've done it, you're done. You want to just really concentrate on your craft and you don't want to take all those extra classes
Yeah.
because you might not feel that they're serving you. So in a conservatory program, you can weed out those.
Yeah, I can speak to like Emerson was almost 40% liberal arts. It's so much for a BFA. So so it's like a big range for sure. And then the BAs would be more like
It's a
more
much higher.
40% to
Yeah.
50 to 60. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to consider, and I think it's a very personal choice is what you want.
Hmm.
You know, as a student. If you are like very like academic and you want to take on, still take sciences and maths, then very often conservatories might not be the right choice for you to think about students. All right. So what about, so you mentioned housing on campus. They do house you the first 2 years. That's important because it's tricky to live in Manhattan.
Yeah, housing is guaranteed your freshman and sophomore year on campus. And what's so nice about our campus and our school, because it's so small, is it's all basically one building. So our dorm building is connected to our school building. So living on campus, you just go down the elevator and walk to class. Like you don't
Oh,
even have
that's
to walk outside. So you're set freshman and sophomore year.
Parents will be not worried. They'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to flag that because I don't know any other school in Manhattan that has housing and campus like so close. Like Marymount, God bless them, they are traipsing all around the city.
Yeah.
They really are like cross west side to east side, down, up, everywhere. And same with NYU, they're like really going around. Like it's the commute can be really intense, and that can be an additional stressor. So I love that they have everything so close. Like you get a bit more of like a cozy campus feeling, I would say, compared to other New York schools that I've. That's just
Yeah.
my vibe.
Do you feel like, um, did you miss like having a campus? Is there a feeling of like hanging like in your dorms and stuff like that? Do you feel that there's part of that? Or did you feel like you missed that in a city school?
David, you go first.
No, yeah, I think like MSM, like obviously we don't have like the lawn and the big libraries to like hang out in. And I feel like it's so unique in its own way where I remember freshman sophomore year, we were all just hanging out in each other's dorms and like that it's a very much like insular experience of like living in New York. Because I have a ton of friends who have also go to like other places like Marymount where they are commuting all the time and
Mhm.
it gets so expensive and they have like no time to like really like do anything. But like freshman year, like we would like go to class and then just like hang out. Like we would just like go to class and then like hang out after because it was all right there and like
Yeah.
we all knew like where each other was and like we would adventure out into the downtown together. And because it's so close, it's so easy to like make plans with people. Like there wasn't a moment where I was like, I don't know how to talk to anyone and I'm lost and I'm alone because I think our class was just like really cool. So like we were like it's very much like a welcoming environment. No child left behind.
Good.
Another thing that our campus is very small. I mean, it's all one building, so that's how it is. But we do have like common areas and like communal things. Also, student engagement does a phenomenal job of keeping everyone connected, every student from different majors connected. Like I've never felt I mean, like obviously it's like, oh, I'm an MT student and you're a vocal student, and like sometimes that doesn't mesh, but like so many people have friends that are not just in their department, which is nice. And back to the communal areas, I mean, we have like the student union, which is like a large sitting area right above the cafeteria. The cafeteria has like a huge sitting area. In the dorms, there's multiple student lounges that have like TVs, ping pong tables. Like they host residential events all the time. So yeah, as David was saying, like it's very like no student left behind. And for me personally, I didn't really the campus like vibe was not needed for me because like you can go, we live right next to a park. There's a beautiful park right next to the school, Sakura. The lawn's almost always open unless they're doing renovations. Like you can go there and like sit, you can read, you walk one block more and you're at Riverside Park, which is right next to the Hudson River. And yeah, everything's easy. The one train is right behind the school if you want to go downtown. Like everything is very accessible from the school. So again, for me, that kind of like made the feeling of like, oh, we don't have like a really big campus kind of like dim because it really was just like New York City is the campus. Like we get to go do whatever we want to do. So
Yeah, that's great. Um, so can you tell us a little bit about are the performance opportunities there? So I know they've like a lot of schools you can't audition freshman year. That's standard with a lot of schools. How does that fit in your program?
So you can audition freshman year, but we do have freshman pops, which is like the equivalent of any school's freshman hello, which is cabaret format. It's a mix of duets, trios, quartets, group numbers to showcase all the freshmen, and that's always really exciting for the upperclassmen to go see like who are the new people because we're such a close program. It's fun to kind of welcome them in that way. And then sophomore, junior, and senior year, you're guaranteed one main stage show. There's two main stage shows a semester. We have two different locations. We have a theater in this on campus in the school. And then we also have a theater across the street at a beautiful church. Riverside Church has a very nice theater that we use. And it is possible to be cast in two shows a year. It tends not to happen all that often. So because our program, we have so many people that we need to fit into different spots. You're usually only in one show a year, but it is possible that you get two. And then also, I'll let David talk about this actually because he's on the APO board, but they have a ton of performance opportunities.
Yes, we have Alpha Psi Omega. It's our student-run organization. We're technically a frat life, our Greek life on campus. I'm on the board. I'm the secretary, and we do. Woo, secretary. And we do one what's it called? One musical year, one play. We also do Night of Color. It's our fall cabaret. We also just did this year we had a new show called The Choir Show, which was like a bunch of group choral pieces. We also do the dance show every year. So anyone and everyone is allowed to just choreograph a dance if they want. And yeah, it's all student run, all student funded, all student creative teams, all of that. So there we have that little thing going. And freshmen are allowed to audition for all of it as well, except fall musical because we found in the past that it gets very overwhelming freshman year. So that's the only reason why you can't audition for the musical. But you can audition for the play and the dance show in the spring. Actually, the dance show's open to everyone. We also have lab series, this thing called lab series, where we bring in some current writers of musical theater. Like most recently we had what's it called? Recently we had Grace McLean, if you know her. She was writing a show. We had Greg Cotis and Mark Hallman, the writers of Urinetown, come and do a workshop freshman year.
Benjamin Velez, right?
Benjamin Velez, he just did
Real Women Have Curves.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're getting some like these people are literally writing Broadway right now. So we're coming in and literally they're coming in and we're literally workshopping their material for them.
Did Joey Contreras do one recently?
Joey Contreras also did one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite the lab series is this is my favorite thing ever. Like I'm literally like number one advocate for doing the lab series just because it is so like you learn music you've never quite literally have never heard of in your life. Doing it in front of these writers, trying like giving your input for the plot and all of it. And it's like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, valuable, really.
Yeah. So
that's like your new work program, basically.
Our work program.
And that happens every year.
Yes, we do about 4. Sometimes this year we're doing like last year we did like 7. But it can really change every year. And usually we did one new work as our main stage every year, but this year we didn't do one. So sophomore year, we did the Urinetown Writers new show. And then the year before that, we did Joey Contreras' most recent show.
That's great. What are your main stages this spring? You mentioned them briefly, like in the beginning we were talking.
This year we're doing we did Pippin. That was our very first show. That was in Riverside. Then we did guys. Yes, the Mystery of Edwin Drood. We did the Mystery of Edwin Drood. This semester, our first show is Violet, and then our last, which is in Riverside, and our last show is A Little Night Music, which is in Neidorf. So we have 2 in Riverside and 2 in Neidorf every year. A lot of our directors are recurring staff. So Evan Pappas has directed the last 2 years. Bonji Aborisade has also directed the last 2 years. We have a lot of people come back. So Eugenio Contenti has come back for Little Night Music. Lorna Ventura has come back. And then another one of those prominent names that you might want to know is David Loud. David Loud is the music director of both of the Neidorf Karpati shows. So yeah, it's really good opportunities to again work with people who are working actively. A lot of these directors are actively working in summer stock shows or putting on new works or involved in new shows or things on Broadway. Obviously, I mean, like David Loud music directed like 20 shows on Broadway in the past. And then also another thing about the lab series is that it's recently shifted. The thing that's a little confusing about it is that it's recently shifted to like under new management. Like It's now run by Aaron Ricciardi. So this year is different from last year because he's kind of testing things out. So this year is 4 lab series in one semester, and then next semester we're going to bring them back, and that gives the writers time to like change the material, change the book, fix what needed to be fixed. It's not just like 1 week and then you're done, because last year there was, I think, some issue with that where we did 7 different lab series, but you only worked on them for a week, and then you never saw them again unless they came back again this year, which none of them did. So that's another interesting thing that I actually like that we changed about this year, is working on it for a week, or 2 long days on weekends. And then next semester, we're all going to come back and work on the new material, the new book. And hopefully that gives them all a little bit more insight. Also, great opportunity for connection, networking, all that kind of stuff that they emphasize so much, because it really is so important.
Yeah, that's very exciting with that program. Because it's like you are working with industry professionals who are trying their works out, and you are sort of, the young actors showing their work, and they're developing it with you. And sometimes these projects move on to bigger workshops for producers, and sometimes you get pulled in with them. So which is really exciting. And I love that they're bringing them back and tweaking them and making changes because you know, as artists, again, you get the chance. I think with my students, so many of them are used to their high school show and they rehearse for 4 months and it's just kind of laid out and they do it and that's it. It's over. As opposed to something that's changing every day. Like when you're in a preview for a show, your scripts change every day until it's set and you learn to make those adjustments. And so I think that's pretty awesome that you guys get that opportunity. Um,
Yeah, that's like the dream, honestly. Yeah,
yeah.
just I really love that. Can I be in the lab series?
So I love this. Do we have any questions with some of you watching that of like some of the stuff that we've talked about? I definitely have more things to dig into, but if there's something that you're curious about, by all means, chime in. All right. If not, oh, did someone? Because if not, I will continue. I have so many questions. It sounds like such an amazing program. What do you think, like, what is the type of student that would thrive in a program like Manhattan School of Music? Like, what's the vibe there for a student?
My personal opinion is that because it's a conservatory, I don't know if my fellow students will agree, they probably will. But for me, you have to be so sure. Like you have to know that it's what you want to do. It has to be something you're very passionate about. You don't get gen ed, you don't get to explore other things. There's no minoring, there's no double major. You are a musical theater student, period. It is exhausting. I was gonna say this earlier, but I'll say it now. Freshman and sophomore year are literally like being hazed. Like you like have to you have to like be so sure that this is what you want to do, because it really does get to you that first, second semester. Because you're working every day, all day. If you're in rehearsal, it's from 7 to 10:30. So some of us, like this semester, I'm in Violet, I'm called every night. A lot of people are called every night. It's like I got 9 a.m.s, and I also live far away from the school, or kind of far away from the school. So like my days start at 7 and they end at 11:30 because of commute and because of rehearsal. And sometimes I don't leave the school all day. That's like junior year and whatnot. But freshman and sophomore year is really like the ultimate test. A lot of people in our class left our freshman and sophomore year because it wasn't for them, and there's no shame in that. But if you think that this is what you want to do, then I definitely think it's the program for that kind of student, the person who wants to dedicate their time like to getting better because everyone around you is getting better always. Everyone is going home and practicing. Gosh, that music theory class is killer. You gotta be on it. Like you have to go home, like make a study group, find people who also want to do this 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 profession. Like find people who are the same like mindset as you of like, but it's not a competition. Like it's about community. Like you really have to find like the community aspect of the school because at times it feels like you're always comparing. You're like, well, this teacher didn't say that about my performance. I feel like I'm not doing this in this class or whatever. So you have to be um conscious of that, I think, of like being not being so hard on yourself that you allow it to like interfere with your studies, but also having like the determination to get through all of this stuff because I really do pile it on. So I really think you have to know that it's what you want to do, especially for this program.
Yeah.
I'll throw something out there as well. I mean, I feel like it's been nice because I've taught at now three different colleges. Yes. Um, and I have to say, like, I am so impressed with the discipline, the work ethic, and the professionalism. I'm really impressed,
That says a lot.
genuinely. And my standards are so high, and
Yeah.
Joanne knows this. I mostly am complaining about the lack of, thereof, but I'm so impressed. Like, I really felt like they were there to work. They were there. Everything that I had to say, like they were listening. Like you all wanted to like soak in anything you could. You were so excited about like stretching and growing and just getting a new perspective. Like hungry, disciplined, kind, professional. Like everyone was checking in with everyone. Everyone was taking care of each other. Honestly, it was like the vibes were really on point for me. And I was really, really happy with it. And quite impressed. Like, yeah, comparatively, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So, again, I think when you're talking about conservatory programs, and especially like this one in particular, it is really, I think I talk about this with my students as well. Like, you need to be that person that wants to eat, sleep, and breathe it. And not only just that you're dying to be a performer, that's not just the only thing, that you want to be a creator. You want to be an artist and surround yourself with artists in that world. Then I think students are very happy in this world. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So I am a little curious. Is there something else somebody wants to add to that about feeling like a student that would really thrive in that
I'd
community?
say that first of all, like ML was saying, um, if you're somebody that's excited by a busy schedule, you're excited by the fact that you're going to be tired and you're going to be working all the time. Like that's something that when I know I'm going to be pushed, that excites me. It doesn't shut me down. You're a good candidate for the school. I also, to go along kind of with what Kaitlyn was saying, I think that our school has a really great work and play balance, inside and outside of the classroom, where I feel like we all work really hard, but we also just enjoy each other's company and have a lot of fun doing what we're doing. So I think the reason we show up so hard for ourselves and for each other is for our love of musical theater, but also just there's a lot of joy. Like we always showed up to Styles class early, and it was to stretch, but it was also like I'm just so excited. Like I want to go see my friends this morning. And it feels like that outside of class too. You're working hard and you have really long days and long nights. But I also feel like there's never a lack of time that I am able to make to spend time with my friends outside of these things, or even if you're spending time with each other in rehearsal. It's a lot of fun, but only if you're excited by intensity. I don't know what my camera is doing. I have no clue. I'm like in an edit right now, so I apologize.
No, I love that you said that, Kate, because I feel like there was a lot of celebration, and I feel like everyone, like, that was not hard for me to conjure. Like, everyone was celebrating, like, already. Like, that's like my ideal, like, energy. But I didn't have to make anyone do that. You guys cheer each other on, and I like that a lot.
That's so great. I wanted to ask you guys about a little bit about your audition journey because we touched upon it. Meredith, I'm so like that you only auditioned for three schools. It's so funny. It's so not the norm because normally, like, especially nowadays, it's like a 20 school list with walk-ins. And I'm kind of curious about all of your journeys in the sense like, did you do a unified audition? Did you do summer programs that, felt helped connect you and introduce you to people? How did that go for each of you?
I'll start. I knew this is what I wanted to do since junior high. So I did two summer programs. I did the Texas State summer program between my sophomore and junior year, which is a 2-week program, and that was on Zoom because it was COVID times.
Yeah.
And then between my junior and senior year, I did the Carnegie Mellon 6-week summer program, which
Nice.
was in person, insane, best training of my life. Well, besides MSM, but it was great training, especially going into college auditions because I had all these songs I'd worked on the summer and monologues and everything. So if a summer program is something that is, something that you want to do, I do highly recommend it. And then going into my senior year, I was the 20 school list person. So I had I think I ended up auditioning for 22 total with a few walk-ins at Chicago Unifieds.
Mhm.
So I did the whole pre-screen thing before. I think my stats were pre-screens for 22, got callbacked for 13, and I got accepted into 6. So
Okay.
those are my stats as a woman in musical theater in 2023. Um,
Very nice.
yes, but I did all the if I they weren't there at Unifieds, it was completely virtual, like at MSM. We weren't going to fly out to any other schools, but that's my experience.
I think that's good to know because a lot of students ask me, should I do virtual versus in person? It's always one of those questions where I'm like, if it's available to you, I always say go. But if it's going to be this really expensive trip and you have so many of them, then maybe I would pick and choose because I know so many people, we're talking to you right now, who were accepted virtually. So,
100%. Out of the 6 that I got into, I know for sure 2 of them, MSM being one of them, I did completely online. So it does not hinder you at all. Like you may think it does, but it truly doesn't.
that's great to know.
Um,
Meredith. Oh, no, David, go, David.
Sorry. Um, anyways, I only auditioned for 9 schools. I got called back for 6, and I did like a crazy combo. Like I did MSM completely online. I did Emerson and Pace at LA Unifieds, I think. I think that was where I did them. And then I did Marymount, did like a random in-person LA audition. So that's where I did that one. And then I flew to Michigan for that callback. And then I don't remember where the other one was. And then I ended up I got into like a couple acting programs, but I think MSM was the only musical theater program that I got into. And I was actually waitlisted for a bit. So I got waitlisted in like I actually don't remember the month, but like early, like March, April, so that kind of time. And then I got off the wait list like May, like very late. So
They're
yeah.
lucky to have you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. But yeah, I had a weird audition journey. Like it was like 9, then 6, and 3, and then I was like flying and like doing all these random stuff. But I actually didn't do a ton of unified walk-ins or anything. I was just like I did a summer program between junior and senior year, the performing arts project, and I ended up getting COVID during it. So that was pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, I did a lot of research and stuff on my own. Didn't have like a coach or anything. I know people be getting coaches now. So that's crazy. Yeah, I did a lot of it by myself, and like my parents didn't really help me because they were like, I don't know how to do this. So I was like, you need to book a flight to Michigan and you need to drive me to down to the airport because that's where LA Unifieds are. Um, yeah, it was wild, wacky.
That's pretty impressive, though, really, to have done that all by yourself. Absolutely, because it is, it's a journey. It's a
It
lot.
is a journey. I like Bella, like you talk about all the time, but like I cannot imagine having to 20 20 applications to keep track of. Like that's a lot for me. I was like, if I really like didn't get into a program with because I didn't apply to 20 schools, I would have been okay with that. Like
Yeah.
Okay, so for context, I was a classically trained singer until my junior year when I finally started where my school I had just transferred the year before during the COVID time, so very scary, new school, new everything, and an art school at that. And people at art schools are very mean in high school, so so I got there. I was, classically, I thought I was going to go into opera. I was so sure. And then my department decided to do Les Mis, and I was like, I'm gonna go for Eponine. So I went for Eponine. I did Les Mis, and I said, I can't do anything else. I cannot do classical. I just can't do opera. Like this is so different, and it's so much better. So I was personally a late bloomer for musical theater. Um, I actually that same year, because of Les Mis, got into the Norwalk Pre-College Conservatory or Norwalk Conservatory Pre-College. And it was their very first year, or it was like it was their very first year for the pre-college. Um, so I do, as Bella was saying, like pre-colleges are great. Like pre-college trainings are fun. You meet new people. I'm still in contact with so many of the people that I met at that pre-college. A lot of them go to schools in New York or like near New York, or they're continuing their acting musical theater training. Anyway, so I do recommend a pre-college. For college, I miscounted. I did apply for 5 or maybe 6. I'll go through the list. So I did Michigan, I did MSM, I did my home school, which I technically applied for a major in musical theater, but then a minor in medical science. So I don't know if that really counts, but I did like AMDA and I did Berkeley and SCAD. SCAD was the other one, but SCAD was not musical theater. They don't have a musical theater program, I'm pretty sure. I didn't apply for that. I did Unifieds, and at Unifieds, I did Berkeley and SCAD. I got past the pre-screens for all of them. I did in-person auditions for all of them except for Michigan. I could not get there. And it was just not at the top of my list because I'm not really a dancer anyway. So, and they are one of those schools where it's like they love a dancer. They do love a dancer. But I ended up getting into all of them except for Michigan. And when I toured MSM, I did the in-person audition. I just was like, this just has to be it. Like, if I get into this school after this audition, I don't think I can choose another school. And so yeah, I did 6 schools total. I got into all of them except for one. And I just knew MSM was for me because of all the things that we've talked about, and it's only gotten stronger, like that feeling, that sense of belonging, that sense of like pride in a school. I really do love MSM. I mean, it has its flaws. Every school has its flaws, but like it just really is a phenomenal program. I'm really proud and I'm really happy. And I'm happy that we as a class, our little junior class, are like one of the beginning, like the cultivators of the program, because we have so many talented people, so many good friends. All of us are good friends. Everyone is so supportive. So yeah, that's my journey. I love it here. I can't say enough good things.
I love it. Thank you. And Kate?
I had probably similar stats to Bella. I had a list of 20 something, and then it got narrowed down to the teens, and then it got narrowed down to single digits. I don't remember what exactly. I think I blocked it out for my own well-being. Um, and I did the Marymount summer training program the summer before my senior year. And then I also remember freaking out after that because all of my friends from that had college audition coaches and they were flying to, like, I knew girls that were going to multiple unifieds to make sure that they hit all the schools. And I was lucky enough to go to the New York City unifieds and go to a lot of my school auditions in person. But after that whole experience and freaking out about everything, I just want to vouch for, like, it's not worth spending the money on all that extra stuff if it is going to give you peace of mind. But I wouldn't say that it's a necessity. I think the most important thing is having some experience getting up and singing and dancing in front of people, and then also just picking material that you love. But you don't have to pay like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to then pay more money to submit to these schools. It's just really about going in with what you got.
Yeah. I think that's a really great thing to say too. Like I loved hearing all of your journeys because I mean, I do work with a lot of kids and some of them are doing so many different programs and it's, they are so expensive. So what I tell students is I think, summer programs are great and if you can afford one, a year, I think they're fantastic. And they're a great experience and a great way to kind of see different schools and work with different teachers and catch the vibe. And also get your material, polished. But yeah, I mean, I think that you have the right idea. It's like you can certainly do 20 auditions if you're adding those walk-ins, but I always say, guys, if you haven't researched a school and you don't really love it, don't apply. Just don't apply to apply because if it's the only one you get into and you don't love it, you're probably not going to be happy there. So, pick if you're a girl at these days with the way it is, maybe pick 15 schools that you really, really, really love. And then if you have a couple of walk-ins, go for it. They're not really costing you extra to do that. You're there. Um, so I do love that. And like, look at you all. You all ended up in a program, a great program actually, that you love. So different ways of doing it. So, um, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate this so much. This was so helpful. It was so informative. I could like talk for another hour to you, literally. I really learned a lot about this program. And just seeing you guys, just what you said, Kaitlyn. It's like it's a really great energy. Um, I would want to be there.
Yeah, I think you should, Joanne. Come on over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, anyone have anything else that you want to ask about this program before we wrap it up here? You're all quiet. All right, we're
You
quiet.
asked great questions, Joanne. I feel like that we really got a whole we got a lot of good insight because of that. Yeah, it was
Uh,
great.
oh, I love, yeah, thank you. And I see that, yes, in our chat section, Katie put like her contacts on Instagram. If any questions come up and you feel like reaching out, by all means, do that. Because I know sometimes we got you on the spot here. But you might be like, doing some more research on the school and be like, oh, I wish I asked that. So, by all, thank you guys for all putting that in the chat.
Even if it's not MSM related, just because I remember that time being really stressful. So if it just helps to talk through it with somebody, just reach out.
Yeah. It's definitely a time. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Kaitlyn, thank you for bringing your students and making time for us. I know that you're
Yes,
busy.
of course.
And those of you who don't know Kaitlyn on here, she's a longtime friend of mine. She's been in several Broadway productions, tours, and new works off Broadway. And she's a wonderful choreographer. She taught my son, I think, the world of her. And if you guys need some pre-screen dance, she's your girl.
Yes, I got you. I got
Can't
you.
recommend her enough. So, all right, we're gonna sign off. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this. I am eventually gonna post this to our channel on YouTube, and well, I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Have a great
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Good luck with your productions this
Thank you.
spring. I'm gonna try and check them out.
Thanks.
Bye.